up front.
Right.
He ended up going broke. I have expectations. When you don't meet my expectations, I move the hell on.
You left your husband because he went through a little financial struggle.
And did.
At any point in time.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Jenny, and if you are new here, if you're new, of course, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. So, what do I always say, y'all? Let's not wait, okay, until we are older to want to settle down, because it gets tough, right? It gets tough for us women who have never been married before, but it's even harder for women who have been married before and remarrying at, later in life, right? So Eva Marcille, not sure if you guys know who she is. Many of you may. She is was a supermodel. She won American Next Top Model back in 2004, and just, started her career from there. That is where a lot of people know her from. She did Housewives a few years ago for a few seasons, and she's on BET. What is it? The Madam Show, Queen Madam, something like that. She's on that BET show, right? And she's just, she's an actress now. But she was married and she divorced her husband. But before we get into her being married, let's go through her dating history, right? Because I want to make sure that we also get a picture of the dating history and how we get to where we are today, okay? So when I started to Google her, I had no idea that she had so many different partners. No shade there, but I was like, you know what? Let me pull out my phone and make sure I read it correctly, because I don't want to be wrong. So she won, American Next Top Model in 2004, right? In July 2006, she started dating Lance Gross, okay? They got engaged in December of 2008, and they split March of 2010, okay? She then started dating rapper Flo Rida from 2010 2012. Then she started dating Kevin McCall. He's a singer / rapper. He's been on a couple of Chris Brown songs, and they have a child. It doesn't say exactly. I'm assuming that maybe they started dating 2012 after she left Flo Rida or broke up with Flo Rida, because they split in 2014. And her custody battle with him was a lot of publicity around that. She said that he was physically abusive towards her and just endangered her to their child. So from my understanding, I don't think he's seen his daughter in years, like a very long time, like it's been 10 years or more. Okay, so once she got out of that situation and, through all of that, she started dating attorney Michael Sterling, okay? They started dating and they got married in October of 2018. So they had 3 children in total. He adopted her daughter by her previous partner, and they have 2 sons, right? So they got married in 2018, and then she filed for divorce in 2023. You gave this man your daughter's you gave your daughter this man's last name. He adopted her. You had 2 children by him, and you didn't leave the man. And then when I Googled the information and trying to find out why she left or why they divorced, you couldn't find anything. Like, it's just like inconsolable differences or just a broken relationship. Like, you can't find anything, because they don't really ever have a reason other than they want to be back out in the streets. Because based on the history, okay, she got about a 2-year span with these men. Okay, 2 years. So these women they start to cap and they start itching for somebody new. But I want to share this clip when her divorce first went public, with these 2 men talking about the reason as to why she may or may not have filed for divorce.
Eva Marcille has filed for divorce from her husband, Michael Sterling, recently.
Usually when people are divorcing and the statements are released, one will file, then the other one will file because they just want to both have a filing in. And then they release statements that are usually like, we're working together, or we're just going to be moving on for our family, or the relationship's broken. She isn't, like, her statement was like, I'm done. And his statement was, I am fighting for this and fighting for my wife. Oh, clearly he did something. She wouldn't be doing this if she did something, right? I don't know. Maybe.
I'll tell you my opinion.
Yes.
The fact that Eva filed first and the fact that Michael said, I still want to save my marriage, I don't think Michael did anything.
Okay.
I think Eva allegedly wants to move on from the marriage. I think Eva may want something different. And I feel like Eva may have thought that dating the nice guy, then marrying him based on her prior relationship that we know, according to court documents, was very disturbing, to say the least, allegedly.
Completely.
And she wanted a safe environment for her daughter at the time. And Michael is a very nice guy. I will say this. I have heard nothing but great things about Michael Sterling. I think Eva allegedly just wanted to possibly try something different because based on who Eva has dated in the past, none of them have been Michael Sterling child. Not a politician, not an attorney. A few have been bad boys.
Yeah.
A few have been very famous. And I think Eva thought being with the good guy was going to serve her forever. And I believe that Eva wants to date again. My opinion, all alleged.
So y'all heard it. I agree with Carlos King. I believe that he did nothing. Because when she filed for divorce, he made it very clear that he was going to fight for his wife. He was going to fight for his wife. So we always want to believe that men are doing all this bad stuff to their women and the women are just leaving because they have no choice but to leave and it's so bad. And it's not always that. We know women be walking out on these marriages just because they get bored. They get bored. They want something new. They want something new. And that was a 5-year relationship. So that was longer than the norm. But we also got 3 kids now. So I can't move as freely as I once did when I didn't have kids. Or I had 1 child. You know what I'm saying? And women don't think about these kids. They don't, like, it's broken and you can't fix it. But this is the reality of what women do.
Child, Eva has filed for divorce from Michael Sterling. Now, y'all know when she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay, her whole storyline was about her man, her family, you know, what she went through with her baby daddy, you know, things like that, and how they couldn't afford to keep up with their bills and they were renting, you know, moving house to house, like just a whole bunch of shit. And I don't know how the fuck they be getting these documents, y'all. But they need to stop being, you can't be that messy. That way you got to get the actual concrete evidence. That's insane. Now, she hasn't said, you know, why she wanted to leave him. Of course, this is very fresh. This just happened yesterday, y'all. This is very fresh. You know, she needs time to process it and heal. Y'all know how Eva be with her whole, you know, spiritual hoopla. But according to the document, y'all, it's just saying that the marriage is broken and basically, like, there's no hope for a rekindling of the marriage. And y'all know that he adopted her daughter, Marley. I wonder if she's gonna put him on child support.
Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's the reality. Okay? Eva is 40 years old. Okay? A 40-year-old was a 40-year-old single mom of 3. Okay? She went from being a baby mama to a wife. And now she went from being divorced to being a single mama of 3. And she was on Tamara Hall's show a few years ago talking about her divorce and her weight loss because it was a big deal. People did see the difference in her appearance and her image. But let me just share the clip of her talking about that journey.
Over the summer, when you were on the red carpet, you did an event and you posted a picture and everyone, not everyone, people started to go into your social media and comment on your weight, on your slim figure. You disabled your comments.
I did.
Which I think is healthy.
Yes.
And it made me think about your Wednesday meditations and your mindfulness, because you always talk about keeping the negativity out, keeping those comments out. You clearly saw those comments.
Oh, absolutely. But where do you put them, right? Where do you, the negative feelings, the things that are not good, where do you put them? You try to bury them down in your person, and all that ends up doing
Did you expect those? I mean, when you saw the picture of yourself, did you think, I look slimmer than I normally?
I thought I looked cute.
I thought
you Now, Cameron, look, I came here to be transparent,
Yes,
like
of course.
honest. I went through a divorce last year. Yeah. Anyone that's ever been through a divorce knows that divorce is hard. It's like the stomach flu. Like, you will be skinny afterward. If you drop a 200-pound person, you're going to drop at least 30 pounds. So for me, I lost weight just naturally going through life, and I found myself depressed. Before my divorce, through my divorce, trying to just navigate and rediscover, who am I? I'm not the wife anymore, not someone's someone. I'm someone's mom. But if I took the mom away, if I took Madam away, if I took Top Model away, like, who was Eva? Yeah. Who am I? Yeah. And making sure that I prioritized knowing that character and building that character.
So she talks about how I'm not the wife no more. To me, it makes it always confuses me when women are sitting there looking for pity when you made a decision. You don't want to be a wife anymore. You got depressed because maybe you had to look at, what the hell did I do? What was I thinking? This is depressing because life is different now. It's me and these 3 kids by myself. I thought when I left this man, I would get a man like that. This is, again, I'm just going off of what my opinion, right? They always looking for pity. And I'm not saying that depression is not real. I'm not saying that she didn't experience that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think the fact that you're like, well, I'm not a wife no more. I'm not this no more. You didn't want to be. So you made a decision. You got to sit with that. The man said he didn't want the divorce. He wanted his family. He wanted to fight for his wife. But she said she didn't feel like it was no way they could come back together. That's what she said. And a divorce was final. Okay. 2 years later, where's Eva? She's back with her man, and she dropped this clip the other day with her ex-husband, who's now her man again.
Happy every day, and it won't stop.
All smiles. All smiles. This is probably what Tia Mowry, she probably wants that with Corey. I'm just saying. You left that man, divorced him. 2 years later, you back. And you gotta be thankful you can even be back. You better be thankful that that man ain't have nobody else. And that he was still probably waiting for you, fighting for you. Why you wanted that man back, Eva? Here's a clip of her talking about the DMs on the Breakfast Club.
Think it would be easy. The DMs, my friend L'Oreal taught me how to look in the DMs. Those are terrifying because it's like somebody's husband and their son are both in the DMs, and then their pastor, and then their women, and then it's like, everybody just calm down.
So how can somebody meet you? Like,
that's my question. I don't even know.
Do you go out?
No, why? No.
Okay.
Gotta work.
So it has to be DMs if you don't go out.
I mean, you might do casual, like, drinks and stuff like that. Like, yes, but do
drinks.
you really get to meet somebody, like, and then where else? Because you don't want to meet them in the club. Well, I don't do those. Yeah, like, but 28 to 35-year-old black men, black women out here, we're millionaires. We're figuring out how to get to the bag, own our own companies, leverage business deals with other companies, not like it used to be. And so with that, I think comes a lot of ego.
I think the sad thing is, I think if somebody is trying to date you, I think they probably will first show up with their check, right? They want to show that they can afford you, which is totally the opposite of what you're looking for.
Of what I want. So they show me the money, so then you don't want that. So then it's like the male ego ends up getting frustrated because it's like, what can I do for you? And you got kids, you don't need a husband, and you don't need me to pay your mortgage. You have multiple cars, you have a job. And then from there, you're trying to figure out, like, that causes conversation. I have a lot of girlfriends who are, at that point, they're like...
Y'all heard that? The DMs is crazy. They be dry. They be scary. You didn't have to go through that, but you wanted to. So were the DMs not hitting how you wanted them to hit? Were the dates not hitting how you wanted them to hit? Did you realize that you're really not that girl as you once were? prior to having 3 kids and being 40 years old? Is that what it needed to wake you up and realize that you had a good man? A man who not only loved you, but loved your daughter by another man, adopted her and raising her as his own. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. But she got her man back. By the grace of God. Alhamdulillah for that. It's a blessing to bring a family back together. But the reality of it is, y'all, these women, they take for granted what they have. They take these men for granted.
Up front.
Right.
He ended up going broke. I have expectations. When you don't meet my expectations, I move the hell on.
You left your husband because he went through a little financial struggle.
And did.
At any point in time, did you feel that love should have kept you there?
I feel like he didn't love me because if he did, he wouldn't have went through a financial struggle. A man that loves a woman don't go through hard times.
I don't think that any man predicts or plans to have a financial struggle.
They make a way.
And I'm sure she probably watched somebody else do it, thought it was going to be fun and cute and not. And baby, it don't work like that. So I want women to be mindful. Don't pull a Eva Marcille thinking you can get your man back. Because every man ain't waiting for you to just come and call him when you ready. Every man ain't waiting for that. And every man shouldn't wait for that. You didn't want to be here. You wanted a divorce. I did nothing to you. You're over being married. You want to live a fast life, whatever it might be. And now you realize that it ain't fun outside. The grass ain't green on the other side. That's what it boils down to with these women. And they realize it. I think she need to put out a public apology to her husband. That's what I think, but that's just me. You being 40 years old, you left your husband when you were 38 years old, baby. You're not the little cute little 25-year-old who won, American Next Top Model. You're not. You're not that girl the way that you thought you are when it comes to just having so many options of the men. You've been engaged before. You've had, what is it? So again, women watch this and they see and they were like, oh, well, Eva did it and this person did it and it worked for her. It may not work for you. So be mindful. Be mindful. Stop waiting until you're older in life to get it together because it may not work how you want it to work out. That's all I'm saying. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think about this topic. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Join the Patreon. The link is in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.